Danny Phantom is strange, thrilling, and full of ghost-fueled mayhem. But beneath the comedy, high school drama, and wild ectoblasts, there is a story that runs deeper than one could ever think of. A boy who gains ghost powers, who discovers responsibility, secrecy, family, and the heavy weight of living in two worlds at once. This is the story of a teenager learning who he is while facing what he has become. A world where his parents, Jack and Maddie Fenton, dedicate their lives to hunting ghosts, and a world where Danny himself must use his ghost half to defend Amity Park from the very threats his parents chase. It is a journey filled with tough choices, spectral battles, and plenty of heart-stopping adventures. So grab your thermos, ignite your ghost ray, and prepare yourself. This is the full story of Danny Phantom. Welcome to Amity Park. In the wild first episode, Jack, Danny's father, proudly shows off his ghost gadgets when the Fenton portal suddenly bursts open.
That is the Fenton portal. It releases ghosts into our world whether I want it to or not.
Releasing spirits that Danny secretly defeats before struggling the next morning with powers he can't control. And while Jazz, Danny's sister, tries to protect him from their ghost-obsessed parents.
Come, you abused, unwanted wretch. I'll drive you to school.
Danny's school life spirals into chaos when Sam, Danny's girlfriend, changes the cafeteria menu, angering the lunch lady ghost who transforms into a monstrous meat titan, kidnaps Sam, and battles Danny across classrooms and kitchens until, after clashing with Tucker's meat obsession, Jazz's protests and his own slipping control, Danny finally traps her with the Fenton thermos. Danny accidentally reels in a dragon ghost whose amulet secretly lands in his backpack, later giving it to Paulina while trying to impress her, unknowingly cursing her with the power to transform whenever angry. Between his pants constantly phasing off,
Third time this week I've caught you. How do you kids say it?
overshadowing his dad to survive a parent-teacher meeting, and watching Tucker snag Valerie as a date, Danny struggles to balance secrets, dances, and ghosts. When Paulina passes the amulet to Sam, Sam's fury turns her into the dragon, forcing Danny to save the day, defeat her, and finally share a slow dance, pants secured this time.
And the pants are still on.
Danny juggles ghost hunting with Tucker's schedules and Sam's study demands, only to end up releasing their captured spirits and catching the attention of Skulker, a ghostly hunter obsessed with rare prey. While Jazz struggles to make her ghost-obsessed parents look normal during Maddie's Genius magazine interview, Danny faces Skulker, whose armor becomes hijacked by Tucker's PDA, forcing him to follow homework-style reminders instead of hunting.
The gorilla display at the Museum of Natural History?
With Samson the gorilla's help, Skulker is defeated and revealed as a tiny blob, and Danny earns fame for discovering Samson is female, though his grade only rises to a CO. Dash flirts with Jazz and drags Danny into his party plans, pushing Danny toward popularity just as Technus escapes from the Fenton lab thanks to Danny's mistake. Obsessed with fitting in, Danny ditches Sam and Tucker, sells off goo-soaked ghost junk at a garage sale, and buys new hip clothes, only to discover Technus has fused with the very gadgets he sold and upgraded himself into a massive technological menace. Forced to admit his selfishness, Danny apologizes to his friends, who help him shut Technus down, capture him, and remind Danny that real friendship beats shallow popularity.
What else can you do after hours?
Just sign the voucher, sir.
Sam's campaign to save frogs is ruined when Danny, mid-fight with the box ghost, ends up on stage in a dress, and his punishment is a cursed locker tied to the ghost of Sidney Poindexter, a nerd bullied in the 1950s. Mistaking Danny for a bully, Sidney overshadows his body, leaving Danny trapped in a ghostly black and white realm, while Sidney enjoys Danny's life with misunderstood kindness. With Sam and Tucker's help, Danny tricks Sidney into returning, fights him in the ghost zone, and reclaims his body, learning humility while Sam secures robotic frogs for the school. Jealousy enters every friend circle. Tucker narrates how he and Danny share everything.
Danny and me have known each other since like forever, and we share everything.
Except Danny's ghost powers until a wish from the genie ghost Desiree grants Tucker those very abilities. What begins as harmless pranks soon turns into jealousy and rivalry, with Tucker growing more powerful and reckless while Danny struggles to stop him. Their friendship nearly shatters as Tucker spirals into a monstrous ghost form, but with quick thinking, Danny uses the Fenton ghost catcher to separate Tucker from his cursed powers just before they consume him. The two reconcile, sick but relieved, realizing that their bond matters more than power. Danny's struggle to keep curfew leads him straight into a fight with vulture ghosts hunting his dad, uncovering a clue that ties them to Jack's past. That past catches up fast when the Fentons head to a college reunion at Vlad Master's mansion where Danny learns the truth. Vlad's ghost half, Plasmius, was born from the same portal accident that gave Danny his powers. Vlad sees Danny as the son he never had and tempts him to turn against Jack, but Danny refuses. With help from the Dairy King, Danny escapes Vlad's trap, saves his mom, and outsmarts his new rival, forcing Vlad into a truce.
Until next time, son.
Vlad departs vowing revenge, leaving Danny with a dangerous new enemy, and Jack unknowingly proud of a victory he never actually won. The parents' anniversary is upon Danny, which takes a chaotic turn when Jack forgets the date for the 18th year in a row, sending Maddie storming off to her sister's place in Arkansas and leaving Danny worried they might divorce. Things only get worse when an anniversary gift Jack meant for Maddie accidentally winds up in the ghost zone, where Danny is arrested by Walker and thrown into prison alongside the very ghosts he's captured. Forced to ally with his enemies, Danny stages a breakout and, with help from Sam and Tucker, retrieves the gift before escaping. Meanwhile, Jack bumbles his way through Arkansas until finally apologizing to Maddie in his own clumsy but heartfelt way.
Is that I love you, baby.
Oh, Jack!
Danny and Jazz arrive just in time to deliver the gift, and the family reconciles.
So, you guys aren't getting a divorce?
Divorce?
Learning Maddie never planned on divorce. The box ghost crashes the celebration, but the crisis only brings the Fentons closer together. Spirit Week turns dark when Casper High's new counselor, Penelope Spectra, secretly drains students' misery to stay young. With her shape-shifting sidekick Bertrand, she fuels Danny's insecurities by making him think Jazz insulted him. As Danny doubts himself, Jazz grows suspicious and eventually discovers his ghostly secret.
A ghost? Wait till I tell Danny!
When Spectra targets Jazz during her big speech, Danny rallies, defeats Bertrand, and, with Jazz's unexpected help using the Fenton Ghost Peeler, captures Spectra. Though Jazz now knows the truth, she keeps it quiet.
You'd better go.
Waiting for Danny to confide in her, Spirit Week ends with restored spirits and stronger sibling trust. A bad day worsens for Danny when a ghost puppy named Cujo wreaks havoc across Amity Park, costing Valerie Gray's father his job at Axion Labs. Forced to move, Valerie's life crumbles until mysterious ghost hunting gear from Vlad lets her strike back. While Danny struggles to train Cujo and hide his secret, Valerie debuts as a fierce ghost hunter, unknowingly clashing with him. Amid battles, Sam surprises Danny with a kiss, only for Valerie to witness it, complicating everything. In the end, Danny calms Cujo by returning his chew toy, but Valerie vows to keep fighting ghosts, now armed and more determined than ever. While mapping the ghost zone, Danny fends off Klemper before returning home, only for a new ghostly rocker, Ember McLean, to rise in popularity at Casper High. Her music enslaves students, feeding on their chants of her name, but Danny's ghost powers and Sam's disdain for trends keep them immune. As Ember prepares for a worldwide concert, she casts a love spell on Danny, making him obsess over Sam, though Sam secretly doesn't mind. At the climax, Sam breaks the spell by kissing Dash, freeing Danny to fight Ember.
Part of me really liked this, and
With Tucker's awful singing shattering her control, Ember is defeated, but Sam's feelings for Danny quietly deepen. Online games and friends, quite a combo. Danny and Tucker get hooked on the online game Doomed, only to be humiliated by a mysterious player named Chaos. Their late-night gaming accidentally frees Technus, who quickly discovers the digital world is the perfect place to conquer.
I'm free once again to conquer this world!
While Danny struggles with school, forbidden electronics, and Lancer breathing down his neck, Technus gains power inside the game with Tucker unknowingly helping him. The shock comes when Chaos is revealed to be Sam, proving herself just as skilled. After Danny finally passes his test, the trio team up in-game, trap Technus in a glitch level, and savor victory until Lancer himself beats them at their own game. Danny, Phantom, and Halloween should never collide. However, on Halloween, Danny accidentally ruins Dash's jacket and ends up in a contest to build the scariest haunted house, or face detention. Desperate to win, he steals the Soul Shredder from the Ghost Zone, unleashing the terrifying Fright Night. The sword transforms his haunted house, and eventually Amity Park, into a nightmare-filled domain, impressing Lancer but bringing real danger. With Tucker and Lancer trapped in their worst fears, Danny and Sam discover the way to reseal Fright Night is by imprisoning the sword in a pumpkin. Danny succeeds, but after confessing his cheating, Lancer gives the win to Dash, leaving Danny stuck with detention and Dash's humiliating bet. Diving deep into Biker's vicinity, Danny's life spirals when Jack's new portal lock accidentally releases Johnny 13 and his living shadow. With Kitty's essence trapped in clothing, Johnny sets his sights on Jazz as the perfect host, winning her trust after saving her at a carnival. While Danny grows overprotective, Jazz falls deeper for Johnny, nearly donning Kitty's cursed ring. Meanwhile, Tucker wrestles with being labeled Bad Luck Tuck and even tries going goth before realizing he's fine as himself. Danny discovers Shadow's weakness, bright light, and, with Tucker's help, lures it into a stadium, banishing it and capturing Johnny.
You've been such a model son lately, I got you a little surprise.
Jazz thanks him, but Danny's oversized reward from Jack makes him Dash's new target again. Walker unleashes chaos in Amity Park by sending his ghost guards and his second-in-command, Bullet, to recapture Danny, the escaped prisoner who once freed others. He forces the wolf-like Wolf, bound by a shock collar, to track Danny down. But Wolf, speaking Esperanto, proves more ally than enemy, and Danny saves him from Walker's control. Meanwhile, Walker overshadows Dash, Quan, Paulina, and even school staff to infiltrate Danny's life and city leadership, framing Danny Phantom as public enemy number 1.
The ghost responsible for all the terror inflicted on our town. This one.
Tucker freeing Wolf from his collar and Maddie unwittingly helping, Danny and Wolf expose Walker, though Wolf is pulled back into the ghost zone.
We'll meet again. So will we, punk.
Branded an outlaw, Danny vows to keep protecting Amity Park, ghost fugitive or not. At Floody Waters, Danny's secret is nearly blown when Paulina sees him fight Johnny 13's shadow. Instead of exposing him, she swoons over Inviso Bill and claims they're dating.
We're dating now!
Thrusting Danny onto the A-list while Sam stews with jealousy and Tucker suffers under Star's bossy attention. Meanwhile, Kitty, possessing Paulina, uses Danny to make Johnny jealous after a lover's quarrel. With Shadow attacking and Johnny furious, the trio hatch a plan. Danny pretends Kitty is obsessed with him, sparking a staged fight that drives her back to Johnny. Reunited, the ghost couple returns to the ghost zone, leaving Paulina safe, Danny relieved, and his brief taste of popularity over.
You're that ghost boy who saved my life. Twice, apparently. Invisible, right?
Moms rock. Danny trains his ghost powers in secret while Maddie grows nostalgic about their bond. A mysterious invite whisks her and Danny to a fake science trip set up by Vlad Masters, who still longs for her. Stranded in the Rockies, Maddie tries to reconnect with Danny as Vlad reveals his scheme through the Plasmius Maximus, disabling Danny's powers. At home, Jack and Jazz battle Vlad's ghost animals, with Jazz reluctantly stepping into ghost hunting. In the climax, Danny tricks Vlad into wearing the Spectre Deflector and rallies the ghost animals against him. Maddie and Danny escape by helicopter, reconciling as mother and son, while both sides of the family quietly keep their adventures secret. Surprisingly, Danny and Valerie's ghost fight is interrupted when their teacher pairs them for a week-long project caring for a flour sack baby. Even they understand the pain behind stupid paired projects.
It's supposed to teach us something about shared responsibility.
Neither wants the responsibility, but things get worse when Skulker pits them against each other, even kidnapping them to his hunting island. Handcuffed together and powerless, Danny and Valerie are forced to cooperate to escape, eventually turning Skulker's own weapons against him. Along the way, Danny discovers Valerie's secret second job as the Nasty Burger mascot and promises to keep it quiet. Meanwhile, Tucker's babysitting business flops. Sam secretly bonds with her flour sack, and the two share an accidental kiss they swear to forget. Vlad seeks the skeleton key, but loses to Behemoth and accidentally destroys his own portal, forcing him to target the Fentons instead. Meanwhile, Jack embarrasses Danny at school and on live TV, only to sink deeper into despair when ghost hunters arrive with $1 million bounty on Danny Phantom. Vlad manipulates events, capturing Jack and unleashing his vulture ghosts to steal the Fenton portal.
So I can steal it and make it a Plasmius portal.
Danny convinces his father to fight back, leading Jack to save Maddie and Jazz and even best Vlad in combat. Father and son reconcile after a simulation, teaches Danny the importance of responsibility, though neither notices Maddie and Jazz remain trapped.
Jack! Dad! Out! Jack!
In the ghost zone, Vlad finally snatches the skeleton key, only to be swallowed whole by Behemoth. The final episode of the initial season begins with Sam sneaking off to the mysterious Circus Gothica despite her parents' ban, unaware that its ringmaster, Freak Show, uses a ghost-controlling staff. Danny repeatedly clashes with a gang of circus ghosts, but keeps getting blamed by the police, while Freak Show's hypnosis gradually ensnares him. Turned into the circus's star act, Danny nearly harms Sam before his feelings for her break through the trance long enough to save her. With Tucker and Sam's help, Danny finally shatters Freak Show's staff, freeing himself and the other ghosts Freak Show is arrested. The parents grudgingly reconcile, and Sam convinces her to lift their restraining order. Though poor Mr. Lancer remains forgotten, locked in a closet, Sam wishes she'd never met Danny, accidentally summoning Desiree, who grants it in full force. Suddenly, Sam is in a reality where Danny never became half-ghost. The world is darker, and ghosts run free. Sam remembers the truth bit by bit and convinces Danny to recreate his accident, giving him his powers back. The twist, his look evolves with a new DP emblem. Sam realizes how important Danny is, not just to Amity Park, but to her life. This is more than a simple what if. It's a test of identity, friendship, and the courage to accept destiny. Amity Park turns into a madhouse when ghost beetles spread chaos, infecting students with unstable ghost powers. Imagine gym class with kids phasing through walls or lunch trays floating midair. Absolute mayhem. Danny, Tucker, and Sam track the problem to a creepy hospital where these bugs originated. Tucker, of course, plays reluctant patient zero, while Danny juggles ghost fighting and damage control. In the end, they contain the outbreak, restoring order before the whole town collapses into ghost-infested chaos. It's a reminder that Danny's world isn't just big villains and invasions. Sometimes small creepy crawlies can spark a citywide nightmare. Ember McLean returns, but this time she's teaming with ghost pirate Youngblood. Their devious plan? Use hypnotic rock music over Amity Park's radio waves to brainwash every adult. Parents vanish into Youngblood's spectral pirate crew, leaving only kids behind. With Tucker and Sam's help, Danny battles not only pirates in the sky, but also Ember's electric riffs. The final fight turns into a battle of sound waves, Danny's counter-broadcast against Ember's. It's flashy, chaotic, and perfectly teenage rebellion with a supernatural twist. By the end, parents are freed, but Danny's reminded how dangerous music and ghosts can be when mixed together. When the dreaded Ghost King, Pariah Dark, escapes from his ancient prison, the balance between the human world and the ghost zone is shattered as his colossal castle tears through dimensions and lands over Amity Park, turning the city into his battlefield. With the crown of fire blazing and the ring of rage fueling his power, Pariah proves to be a terrifying enemy that even Danny's greatest efforts cannot match alone. Forced to put aside rivalries, Danny allies with ghosts he once fought, Skulker, Ember, even the reluctant Vlad, in order to stand against the unstoppable king. After an explosive clash of worlds where ghosts and humans alike struggle to survive, Danny uses courage, wit, and sheer determination to trap Pariah back into his eternal prison, earning his place as the true defender of both Amity Park and the Ghost Zone. Danny dreams of one carefree weekend, but Technus has other plans. Freed from an old video game, the Ghost upgrades himself by hijacking Tucker's PDA, the Fenton RV, and even the Fenton home, turning every machine into his personal weapon. Desperate, Danny splits himself into Fun Danny, who craves freedom, and Super Danny, who knows only duty. But divided, neither is whole, and chaos follows as Technus marches toward domination. Only by reuniting, merging strength with spirit.
Hello? Not our family, my family?
Does Danny reclaim balance, trap Technus once more, and realize true fun comes not from running away, but from sharing adventures with loyal friends. Jazz narrates the story, and she's certain she's the only responsible member of the Fenton family.
You know how sometimes you feel like you're the only responsible person in your family?
Always rolling her eyes at her parents' chaos and Danny's strange behavior. But when the family heads off on a trip, Danny begins battling thin air, and Jazz worries he's finally lost it. In truth, he's locked in combat with Youngblood, a ghost pirate child only kids can see. Jazz, thinking Danny's gone insane, scolds him non-stop until her own childish tantrum suddenly makes Youngblood visible, forced into the fight, and together they defeat the ghost, proving her brother isn't reckless, just a hero carrying a secret burden.
Sometimes I do feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders, but Danny's responsible. And he's a kid.
10 years from now, Amity Park is a fortress, Valerie its lone defender, until an older, twisted Danny Phantom, Dark Danny, shatters the shield and erases everything. Clockwork, Keeper of Time, sees only one solution: destroy present Danny. Ghosts from the future swarm, battles erupt, and young Danny glimpses the nightmare he might become. A monster born from grief, fused with Vlad, ruling a broken world. Betrayed by fate, yet guided by Jazz, friends, and even a repentant Vlad, Danny learns the ghostly wail, faces his darker self, and wins. The future isn't fixed, and Danny proves he decides who he becomes. Holidays are upon Amity Park, but Danny hated every second of it. At the mall, while Sam sang carols and Tucker laughed, his parents loudly reignited their yearly Santa Claus war, Maddie swearing he was fake, Jack defending him like a true believer. Fed up, Danny fled into the Ghost Zone, smashing decorations until he accidentally destroyed the ghostwriter's poem. Big mistake. Now cursed to live inside a rhyming Christmas story, Danny ruined malls, wrecked toys, and even even fought monster trees. Yet with ghosts, friends, and family by his side, he learned Christmas wasn't ruined. It was shared. Danny just wanted some peace after the movies, but Jazz had other plans, smothering him with thermoses, research binders, and endless help. Her good intentions turned into disaster after disaster, sucking him into the thermos.
Don't worry, Danny. We'll get you out of there.
Bungling ghost hunts, and embarrassing him at school until he finally snapped and told her she was awful at it.
So stop helping!
Hurt, Jazz ran off, straight into Vlad's clutches. Soon, Danny was trapped. Jazz was forced into the ectoskeleton suit, and brother fought sister under Vlad's watchful eye. But behind the blows, they faked a plan, outsmarted Vlad, and escaped.
Oh no! What have I done? What was that?
Siblings at odds yet closer than ever. At the mall, Technus sparked chaos, but his real game was subtler, nestling into Valerie's phone and playing matchmaker. Soon, Danny and Valerie were chatting all night, growing close while Sam simmered with jealousy.
What's that?
Is that from Valerie? Tucker, are you online again?
Their romance carried through awkward lunches, hugs, and a date that left Danny dreaming of something serious. But Technus wasn't playing Cupid. He was using their emotions to fuel his takeover of the world's computers. His scheme rocketed Danny into space, where, with heartbreak and guilt on his shoulders, Danny destroyed the satellite, saving Earth. Valerie kissed him goodbye, but chose ghost hunting over love for now. Danny's struggle with the president's fitness test turned into a wild twist when Jack's new invention shrank him, Dash, and Skulker down to mouse size. With his ghost powers fading, Danny was forced to rely on teamwork with the last person he wanted, Dash. The two dodged giant dust bunnies, near crushes from Jazz, and even a broom-wielding Matty, all while being hunted by Skulker and his rodent steed. In the end, Danny and Dash reached the ops center, restored their size, and flicked Skulker into the freezer. Danny and Tucker later scraped through the fitness test, leaving Dash humiliated and Skulker chilling on ice, literally. What started as a simple beauty pageant at Casper High turned into something out of the Dark Ages, bringing doom. Danny, roped into judging after a ghost fight gone wrong, suddenly found himself surrounded by eager contestants, Sam included, who only joined to prove how dumb the whole thing was. But Dora, the pageant host, was no ordinary princess. Behind her ring hid a dragon ghost, and worse, her tyrant brother, Prince Aragon, had his eyes set on Sam as his unwilling bride.
Your prince has finally selected his bride!
Trapped in his medieval lair, Sam played the sloppy goth princess until Danny, Tucker, and Dora herself rose against Aragon, ending his rule of fear. Tucker wanted nothing more than for people to finally listen to him, but at Casper High, no one cared, least of all Danny and Sam, who wrote his campaign for class president without ever hearing his ideas.
But it's not what I told you to write. I want to have my voice heard, not yours.
Frustrated, his life takes a strange turn when he accidentally awakened Hotep Ra, a mummy servant who believed Tucker to be the reincarnation of Pharaoh Dul Aman. With the pharaoh's scepter in hand, Tucker's desire for respect twisted into something bigger, transforming the school into ancient Egypt where his classmates became servants. But when Hotep Ra betrayed him, Tucker had to face the truth. Power means nothing without friends who actually listen. At the Nasty Burger, Danny, Sam's, and Tucker hang out until Jazz bursts in. Mortified by Jack and Maddie's flashy 80s outfits, Danny fumes over his parents' antics and wishes for normal ones right before Vlad appears, begging for help with his ecto-acne. When Danny refuses, Vlad infects Sam and Tucker, forcing Danny to seek a cure. Clockwork sends him to the past, where Danny saves Maddie from the proto-portal blast, changing history. Returning, Danny finds Jack, now Jack Plasmius, ruined and bitter, Maddie married to Vlad.
If it wasn't for ghosts, I never would have lost the love of my life.
And himself nearly erased. With help, he restores the timeline, learns to value his parents, and joins their party. Vlad is testing Danny in secret, building ghostly experiments and programming Maddie's likeness to mock him for failing. His research keeps insisting he needs Danny caught mid-change, so he unleashes a trio of ghosts to stir chaos. Danny skips out on mini-golf with Sam and Tucker, pretending nothing is wrong, until the ghosts crash the fun and frame his friends. Then, Danielle, a mysterious cousin, shows up with powers just like his, but the truth spills. She is Vlad's unstable clone, created to lure him in. When she turns against Vlad, Danny helps her escape, leaving Vlad fuming in defeat. Skulker is caught by the guys in white, and his empty suit becomes their key to hunting Danny. Meanwhile, Sam suddenly swoons over Gregor, a white-haired exchange student who shares her interests, leaving Danny jealous and suspicious. Ghost fights and awkward spying only make things worse, especially when Gregor kisses Sam. But the truth unravels. Gregor is really Elliot from Michigan, faking his way into Sam's heart. The guys in white mistake him for Danny Phantom, launch missiles, and nearly kill him until Danny saves the day. In the end, Elliot vanishes, Sam admits her mistake, and Danny quietly restores her smile. Danny rushes through his last day of school, using ghost powers to dodge tardiness, and even his dad's stray blaster shots. Meanwhile, deep in Amity Park Penitentiary, Freak Show sits in chains until the guys in white tempt him with revenge.
We know how you envy ghosts.
And we believe this to be an object of enough spectral power to eradicate ghosts forever.
With his reality gauntlet and its gems, life, form, and fantasy, he escapes with Lydia, swearing to remake the world as his circus.
Dinner? Movie? Make myself ringmaster of all reality?
Danny, Sam, and Tucker dream of summer adventures, Cape Canaveral, Comic-Con, Gothapalooza, but Freak Show crashes a Dumpty Humpty concert, forcing Danny into the spotlight. In front of hundreds, his drained powers fail and the unthinkable happens. The world learns Danny Fenton is Danny Phantom. Parents are captured, the guys in white hunt him, and friends suddenly must choose sides. Yet even Dash, Paulina, and the football team rally to protect him. Freak Show ups the stakes by kidnapping the parents, demanding the gems in 3 days. So begins a wild road trip, a living space shuttle at Cape Canaveral, Twisted Teddy Bear Gothapalooza, and a chaotic San Diego Comic-Con, where cosplayers turn into supervillains. Piece by piece, Danny, Sam, and Tucker reclaim the gems, only to lose them again to Freak Show, who finally learns the Gauntlet's true order. Reality itself bends to his will, Earth becomes his circus, and Danny is nearly destroyed. But Jazz reminds him of Freak Show's fatal flaw, ghost envy.
He has ghost envy! Use psychology!
Danny teases him into transforming into a ghost, then traps him. With the Gauntlet's power, Danny restores the world, saves his family, and finally destroys the Gauntlet forever. His parents accept him, but Danny resets time so only Sam, Tucker, and Jazz remember. Summer vacation begins again, quieter but no less meaningful. Vlad's polished life unravels when the guys in white raid his manor, thanks to Danny's tip.
That's got to be the greatest practical joke ever.
Humiliated, Vlad retaliates with pranks, turning Danny's shower walls invisible and later orchestrating the nasty burger's destruction, which he then buys out. Seizing the moment, Vlad runs for mayor, winning by overshadowing voters. As mayor, he imposes strict rules and blames Danny Phantom for ghost activity, using staged arrest to boost his image. Danny rallies his peers, exposing Vlad, only for Vlad to use a duplicate to frame himself as a hero. Danny cleverly flips the script, bruising Vlad's reputation, though both know the war isn't over. Strange pranks ripple across Amity Park. Paulina topples cheer pyramids, Tucker's dad acts out, even Dash's chihuahua turns violent. All thanks to a Morpho, a faceless ghost craving attention. When Danny rescues kids from a bus crash, a Morpho steals his spotlight by posing as him, then worsens things by impersonating Danny Fenton.
Hey, that's... me?
Wrecking Jazz's scrapbook and framing him. Danny gets trapped in a ghost form, hunted by his own parents, while a Morpho tries life as Mr. Lancer, only to suffer student torment. Eventually, Danny confronts him, and the two realize they both long for balance. One for less attention, the other for just enough. Danny and his friends drag through their exhausting routine only to watch the guys in white buy out Fenton Works with promises and a fat check.
Wow, that's a lot of zeros. We'll be out by noon tomorrow.
The Fentons bask in riches, gold labs, game rooms, even a butler, while Danny grows uneasy, especially when Sam and Tucker discover the agents plotting to erase the ghost zone with an anti-ecto missile, a move that risks destroying Earth itself. Danny resists until loneliness pushes him back into hero mode. Racing through the ghost zone on Johnny's stolen bike, he rallies ghosts, smashes the missile, and saves both worlds, only to lose the mansion and Hobson. The final episodes are upon us. Far beyond Saturn's rings, Danny and Vlad clash over the Infi map, their battle shattering a satellite and unknowingly setting a massive ectoranium asteroid on a collision course with Earth. Back home, Vlad unveils his new ghost hunting squad, the Masters Blasters, who quickly outshine Danny.
Those are the coolest jumpsuits I've ever seen! Except yours, of course.
Disheartened, Danny decides the world no longer needs him, stripping away his powers through the Fenton portal and embracing a normal life, until the asteroid, the Disasteroid, is discovered. Vlad seizes the chaos, revealing his ghost identity to the world and demanding power in exchange for salvation. His scheme collapses when he learns the asteroid is pure ectoranium, lethal to ghosts, leaving him abandoned in space. Meanwhile, Danny realizes his mistake. His attempt to recruit ghosts backfires as old enemies gleefully attack him, but in doing so, reignite his dormant ghost half, restoring his powers stronger than ever. With Sam, Tucker, Jazz, and the Fentons rallying the world, Danny unveils his plan. Unite hundreds of ghosts to turn Earth intangible. At first, humanity doubts him, but support swells as his parents cheer him on. In Antarctica, preparations teeter on collapse. Danny vanishes mid-battle. Jazz reveals his secret to Jack and Maddie, and despair mounts. Then Danny returns, leading an army of ghosts who phase the planet itself, letting the disasteroid harmlessly pass through. The world hails him a hero. Statues rise, secrets dissolve, and even Vlad drifts alone in space. But Danny slips from the spotlight, choosing instead a quiet moment with Sam, sealing their future with a kiss before soaring into the sky. Thus concludes the massive adventures of Danny, Tucker, Sam, Jack, Jazz, and Maddie. However, things don't end here considering the ambiguous ending. If you like what I do, drop a like on this video and subscribe so you can keep up with my content.